Did you know you could get glass-like 3D prints? I had no idea, but this is 3D printed. And it's the perfect upgrade for this potion lamp that I designed years ago. It looks a million times better. Like, what? It's because it's made of resin. So Heygears sent me their RS Turbo, and it made this. I'm blown away. So I'm gonna do 5 projects and see if resin printing's actually worth having alongside FDM. Like, not instead of it, but alongside it. Okay, so as someone who's never done resin before, it's a completely different game than FDM. You put the filament in here, you press print, and it's done. With resin, you have to make sure you don't get it on your hands. So you got disposable gloves and masks and a few other things as well. So many paper towels. But then there's also knowing how to actually use it, which the RS Turbo does a good job of helping with because it has self-dispensable resin cartridges, it has a wash system that just makes it super easy to work with, and the slicer and everything is already fine-tuned. I literally did no fine-tuning. I put the models into the slicers, press slice, press print, and it was done. That's all of the thinking that I had to do, so that's good. But the biggest question to me was, because it's so much more work and because there's safety risks, was it actually worth it? So the first thing I did was this. I upgraded the potion lamp, which was the first ever 3D print that I designed and made, and it's the reason that I bought a printer, because this was made of a clear FDM top, and while it looked okay, like it didn't look terrible, resin promised a better option, so I wanted to try it out. I used PAF10, which is Heygears like flexible clear resin, and just basically dragged the same model file that I had from the original potion model into the slicer and just pressed auto supports and press print. Now when you're taking this off of the print bed, it looks like glass, like it's perfectly clear, and I thought that this was going to be a very promising thing. After washing and curing, it looks like this, which was quite disappointing at first. I was a little bit like, well, this is nothing better than the FDM. However, Heygears also has a gloss glaze, and you'll just brush this onto here with a paintbrush, and it makes it look like this, which is literally like glass. With a little bit more time and practice, you could probably make this a lot cleaner as well. You can see where my brush strokes are a little bit. So if you had a larger brush, maybe thin the actual glaze a little bit, it could come out looking absolutely great. You can still do post-processing to FDM prints and make it look a little bit clearer, but you're never gonna get it anywhere like this. And now when you put these side by side and you compare the old version to the new one, this just feels way more premium. It actually looks like a genuine like glass bottle that you've got on top of it, and then the light diffuses out way nicer. The inset on the inside is still FDM printed, the base is still FDM printed. It's a lot easier to do this, but this single resin part on top of all of that just makes it feel way more premium and is definitely a product that I would prefer to have. But at the end of the day, you're never gonna get FDM to be this clear and feel this premium. So in this case, resin was the better option, and I'd say it was definitely worth it. Another issue that FDM has and struggles with is very fine detail and very small parts. You can see here, for example, this figure's not even that small, but once you get towards the tiny little pieces and the thin strands, the quality drops dramatically. Resin printers are known to be able to do a great job at figures, and look at the size of this Mewtwo's arm and his ears, and it looks absolutely great. There's literally a curve on the back of his neck, and this thing looks smooth as anything. Not to mention, removing supports from this was a nightmare. Never mind this. That's why I printed 36 test prints of this. I made a full chest set. I used PAP10 resin, which apparently is for really high detail and good durability, which is one of the things I was surprised about. Like, I thought this was going to be flimsy, like not flexible, but like not as strong as this. You can literally press down on the pieces and it doesn't bend, it doesn't move, it doesn't break, it doesn't feel flimsy. Like, it feels really strong. The detail of them is absolutely nuts. I probably could have done a better job like grinding away the supports. This is my first time with resin. It's something that's going to take a little bit of practice. Now for the chessboard, I just FDM printed it on the Snapmaker because it can be multicolor printed, so I can do the different color squares, but also it needs to be quite a bit bigger, right? You can't have a tiny little chessboard. You're going to want a decent sized one. I found a really cool one, which I'll link in the description. You can roll it in on itself and then put all the pieces inside. This is perfect. Because these are quite strong and tough due to the resin, you can put these inside without worrying that they're gonna break. Like, unless I threw this around the room or purposely snapped it, I'm not concerned that this will break. I don't know, it's strong. I don't even know how it works. I can't understand how it can be that tough and not flexible in the slightest when it's so small. Take the detail on this Nidoqueen, for example. You can literally see the claws. FDM wouldn't have been able to do that. And if it did, when you take the support off, the claws would have come off with it as well. Probably the tail and the arms and everything else too. And with this one, you can literally see the tail is just as thin, if not thinner, than this piece on the FDM print. And this, the quality's just like, there's no comparing it. And after washing and curing, I just airbrushed them with primer and then did half of them white, half of them black. And now I have a finished chess set, which has Pokemon figures, and they just look great. And there's something about these pieces when you're playing them and you're actually like holding them, they feel really good quality. There's a good weight to them, which is actually something that surprised me when I finished them off. The detail is just really sharp. Eevee literally has a tuft of hair on the top, and you can see every single bit of it. There's no way FDM would have done that. And having the chest pieces, the main part of the actual set, feel this premium makes a big difference to the whole project. So definitely worth it. Then I came across this resin, which is a PAB10, and it makes a lot of claims. One that I specifically wanted to test. It does apparently very sharp edges, high detail, easy support removal, and it's a lot thinner than all the other ones, so it's really easy to work with. The claim that I really wanted to test was this is designed to be a matte finish that allows you to paint it really well without using primer. So I found a project that would require some level of painting to test this out properly with. I FDM printed the case and all the front display because of multicolor printing. It makes it a lot easier. And then I printed the badges to go inside in this resin. But I did 2 sets of them. One set I am going to just leave after curing, and the other set I'll prime it and I'll leave that overnight to dry, and then we'll paint them both at the same time and see how they come out. Now to paint these, I used the same pre-mixed airbrush paint so that the consistency was exactly the same. And then I just airbrushed it at the same time over both of them. And the results shocked me, as YouTubers say. It actually did. This one is not primed. This one is absolutely no primer, just cured and then airbrushed. This one was primed. I don't know what happened with it. Maybe it's a technique, maybe it's a user error. I don't claim to be good at painting. I'm very new to painting and that sort of stuff. I don't know what happened with it. Not all of them turned out like this, but some of them did. The unprimed ones do have a darker tone to them compared to the primed ones, but at the same time, the consistency and the actual like finish of them just looks better in my opinion. And then the other interesting result that I had was these needed to be hand painted. So again, I just used the airbrush paint with a paintbrush. The paint seemed to adhere and spread out a lot smoother and evenly. Whereas this, I don't know, there's just some bits on there that don't look great. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but it just nowhere near the same finish as this one. So I'm not gonna say that priming it made it worse, or maybe I am, I don't know. Either way, it could be user error. I just picked the best ones from each side and they've come out looking great. I'm gonna give this to my son, but I'm gonna give it him empty. And then as he goes through the first Pokemon games, I'm gonna give him the badges as he actually collects them. So he collects them in the game, but he can also collect them in real life now. And it's the same result. Just having them in resin and the rest being an FDM really brings this to another level than if they were all just FDM. Now I'm going camping on the weekend, and something you see all the time if you search camping on 3D prints are these. Now this is an FDM printed little capsule that is apparently waterproof. These aren't waterproof, but this is a resin one, and I'm gonna test which one will work out best. Now I don't think that the resin is gonna be waterproof. However, something to store your matches in when you do go camping is always super useful. The last thing you want is to get rained in on and your bag gets drenched or something, and these matches are ruined. It's not what you want. So to print a container and store them in, it's a good idea. But which one will be best? But that also means I can test something else as well. This resin is ABS-like, which means it's high durability, so it should last a fair amount longer than this, which is absolutely great. And when I was doing research on resin, threads was something that got brought up a lot, like threads and like clip into place and stuff like that. Apparently are really good. And I'm impressed, man. If you've ever used an FDM thread, you know that they're a bit like rough and like clunky. They work, but they're just not quite as smooth. This is insane. This is like a Coke bottle lid. Like it just goes on absolutely beautifully. There's no friction with it or anything. And because of the material that I used, the thread will last a long time. It's not going to wear down. However, the test is I'm going to put a single match in both of these, and then I'm going to screw the lids on, and I have a TPU printed O-ring on each of these as well. There's one on the resin too. And with the match inside both of them, I'm going to place them both at the exact same time into this tub of water, and we're going to leave it there overnight. And that's it. They've both got their own match in there, and tomorrow we're going to see if it will light and see which one actually does better at resisting water. I don't need it to be waterproof. I just need to know that if my bag gets drenched, will the matches inside be okay? All right, so before checking the results of the capsules, there's one more project to go over. This is a Minecraft lantern, and I printed the full casing in FDM, as you can see, but the actual panes for the lantern itself I did in resin. I stumbled across another clear resin, but this one had like a colored tint to it, and I was interested to see how well that actually developed and how it came out. So I popped it on print. It was water washable, and it was like super thin, so it was probably the easiest one to work with. And then when it came out, all the detail of the glass, like all the squares and stuff, looks absolutely great. Either way, I put it into the curer. It comes out looking frosted, just like the other resin did as well. And then I clear glazed it because I wanted to use the actual tint as a diffuser or see how that would work. And it kind of came out like too good. It's so clear. You can literally see my fingers inside of this. Like it's ridiculous how clear this is. I don't know. I guess I'm not used to the fact that you can get prints to be so clear, but it looks really nice. The actual color of it is very subtle. It's not as strong as I thought it might be, but I can see where in some cases that might be the right choice. However, with the Minecraft lantern, it's probably not the right choice, seeing as this is supposed to be a specific color and you're going to want the light to be diffused a little bit better. So while it's probably not the perfect fit for this project itself, there's going to be so many uses I can use this for in the future, and it's just another thing that FDM can't do. So it's morning, and our capsules have been left in here overnight. It's now daytime, as you can see, and I'm interested to see how these have gone. So let's start off with the PLA one. We're going to unscrew this and see, wait, oh, it does sound a little bit like it's got water inside. It's not looking great, like, oh dear. So as expected, this is definitely not waterproof, and this match is almost guaranteed to it's not going to work. It's just ruined, like you can tell. It's all sort of soggy. Then we've got the resin one here, which doesn't sound like it's full of anything, but that doesn't mean that it won't be. It is looking, I don't know if you can see in there, a little bit damp. Like there's a tiny little droplet of water in there, so there's a good chance that this is also not going to work. It doesn't look completely dry. Oh, very nearly. Hold on. So unfortunately, neither of these actually kept water completely out. And I didn't expect resin to be waterproof, but it did do a much better job than the FDM did. This seeped in a lot of water. You saw when I poured it out, there was quite a lot of water in there. And this one, it didn't actually pour anything out. There's just a little bit of dampness on the inside of the actual container. But considering how long it had been in the water overnight, that's pretty good. The match still didn't survive, but you did see like a tiny little spark there, a little strike, which means it wasn't completely wet through, right? So if you are looking for something that will resist water, not be waterproof, but resist it a bit better, then FDM is probably not your choice. But the resin one did a really good job, and if this was just wet through in like a backpack, I think it'd probably be okay. I still can't get over how clear this is. With all the 5 projects done, I'm genuinely impressed with resin. I didn't think it was something that I would ever need to add to my actual like setup and anything, and I didn't think I would use it that much, but seeing what it can actually do, I will definitely find value for this. It can do things that FDM can't do. Like this is just not going to happen with this. It's not going to happen, at least not that I can imagine. And also I've got to say, the RS Turbo, I didn't have a single issue with this thing. Like it genuinely was as simple as drag the files that I already had into the slicer and then just click slice and send it over. But there was no bed adhesion issues. There was no like snapped pieces in the actual vat or anything. There was nothing. It was just press print, take it off, and it worked as I wanted it to work. I didn't think about it until like now that I didn't have any issues. I didn't battle with the machine, which I think is probably an important part to get right. Resin is messy. You've got all the disposable paper towels. You've got the disposable gloves. If you spill it, it's going to be a nightmare. So having a workflow that just works, I think is something that if it didn't work, if it was a nightmare, I probably wouldn't bother again. But because of how easy the actual workflow of this bit was, I'll definitely use this again. So if you've never used resin before and you're looking to get into it, the RS Turbo is definitely a place that I would recommend starting at because it was great for me. Or maybe you're a resin master already, then the RS Turbo could still be a worthwhile upgrade. So there'll be a link to that in the description. And Heygears, thank you for sending it out. I really do appreciate it. I've had a blast learning something new.